Welcome to the University of Michigan Dentistry Podcast Series, promoting oral health care worldwide.
The indications for root amputation are 1. Where an individual root of a multi-rooted tooth is hopelessly involved with either caries, internal resorption, or loss of alveolar bone support from periodontal disease. 2. In cases where endodontic failure of one root of a multi-rooted tooth, where retreatment or apical surgery is impractical. Or 3. Where there is a vertical fracture of one root of a multi-rooted tooth. The contraindications for root amputation are inoperable root canals in the roots that are to be retained, in cases of root fusion where separation is impossible, or in cases where the tooth is not restorable. Clinically, in our patient for today, we can see tooth number 3, where there is severe alveolar bone loss of the distal buccal root. Looking at the radiograph, again we see bone loss of the distal buccal root. However, the lingual and the mesial buccal roots both have good bone support. The procedure involves 3 steps. First, we fill the root canals in the canals that are to be retained. Second, we place an amalgam in the root to be resected. And third, we remove the root and section the root. In this radiograph, you can see that the lingual and mesial buccal roots have had a gutta percha filling of the root canal, and the distal buccal root is filled with amalgam. We will section the distal buccal root on the angle seen in the radiograph. We will now begin with the procedure. The patient has already been anesthetized. Open, please. In some cases, a mucoperiosteal flap of the envelope type may be necessary, and bone relief also may be necessary. In this particular case, due to the alveolar bone loss, it is not believed that the flap will be necessary at this time. We'll now begin by making the cut for the root resection. Explorer. Periodically, a Cullhorn Explorer is used to check to see if we are through the root. Care must be taken not to nick the lingual or the mesial buccal root. Once we are certain that we have cut entirely through the tooth, we will then attempt to deliver the root tip. An elevator was used in this particular case. Pause, please. At this point, hemostasis is necessary. And the final procedure is to smooth and recontour the remaining root sections. Section. Okay. You have a mirror, old tiny mirror. Okay. The tooth has been smoothed, the root has been resected, and we can see the amalgam left in the remainder of the pulp chamber after the root has been removed. Here we see the final radiograph of the patient. The distal buccal root is removed, and we can see the amalgam in the pulp chamber where the root formerly was located. Before the patient is dismissed, we make sure the tooth is out of occlusion, and we instruct him on oral hygiene and the necessity of having the tooth restored with full coverage as soon as possible.
You've been listening to a presentation from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry, which is dedicated to supporting open learning and open educational resources. This recording is licensed under the Creative Commons. It may be reused and redistributed for nonprofit use. Please attribute materials to the University of Michigan School of Dentistry and redistribute under this same license. For more information on how this and other University of Michigan School of Dentistry recordings may be used, visit www.dent.umich.edu/license.